And the road to 2016 begins right here. Now, earlier, I got a chance to catch up with Senator Rand Paul. Is he running for president? We'll take a listen. All right, we're here with Senator. You all want to say hi to Senator Rand Paul? This is the youngest crowd I've seen. Now, you're the only candidate so far that's had an event at a bar.
Well, you know, these people don't want the government snooping on them.
Does that mean it's a safe place?
Yeah, we're patrolling the door, and nobody from the government comes in this place. No, I mean, these kids are excited. They're, young. They're now free of their parents' yoke to a certain extent, but they want to be free from the government's yoke as well.
Let's talk about where you are in the process. I know you've been thinking about running for president. Where are you?
Close. We're getting closer. We're trying to see how the message resonates. CPAC will be a good test of whether or not there are enough young people out there, enough people who believe in liberty to allow us to go forward and actually be a contender.
But I asked you in the past, how do you describe yourself politically? Your answer was a constitutional conservative, not libertarian, but...
I think libertarian conservative, constitutional conservative, I think they mean the same thing, that we believe in limited government. We're sort of the leave me alone coalition. These kids want to be left alone. They want to believe that what they say on their cell phone is none of the government's damn business.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too. And all right, so if you become the president of the United States, how would Rand Paul balance the budget?
We'd cut spending. Absolutely, you have to cut spending across the board. I'm a big fan of the penny plan. Cut 1% across the board. Your budget balances in about 5 years.
All right, so you do that. That means Medicare, Social Security, defense, everything.
Yeah, and the thing is that you don't have to be 1% of everything if you're 2% of something else. So, for example, I introduced a budget that would balance in 5 years, but actually spent above the military sequester. So you can say that, well, defending the country is a priority, but we'll cut 10% of something, or like in this case, I would cut 100% of corporate welfare, every last bit of it.
All right, let's talk about the top 5 things. If you're elected president, you guys want him to elected president? The top 5 agenda items.
President Paul! President Paul! President Paul! President
Okay.
Paul! President Paul!
All right. Top 5 agenda items.
I think the number one priority of the federal government always has to be defend the country from foreign attack. We have to defend our country. So one thing you can't do in Illinois or Wisconsin, you got to have a national defense. So we defend the country. But I think you can't defend the country from bankruptcy court. So really part of defending the country is you can't be insolvent. You can't borrow $1 million a minute. Admiral Mullen said this. Number one threat to our national security is this enormous burden of debt. But it's also the number one threat to these kids getting a job. Some economists say that 1 million jobs a year are being lost from the burden of debt.
Do we have an obligation to ISIS? Look at what they're doing.
Yeah, we have to defend our interests. We have to defend America.
How?
Well, the one thing I would say that's important in this, and this is what differentiates me from other Republicans, is I think that every time we've toppled a secular dictator, we've gotten chaos and the rise of radical Islam. It happened with Gaddafi. It could happen with Assad. It also happened with Hussein.
Should we at least provide arms to the Kurds, arms to intelligence to Jordan and Egypt?
Yes, and I think we shouldn't have the arms stopping in Baghdad. The problem is that when they stop in Baghdad, the Shiite militias and Shiite army grab up the good arms, and there's not enough left for the people who actually will fight, which is the Kurds.
Yeah. All right. Now we have our rapid fire round, which we've been doing with everybody, and just quick answers. Abortion.
I'm 100% pro-life.
Exceptions, rape, incest?
I think the whole decision and the whole discussion is based on when does life begin? And that's where the big battle is over people. When does life begin? When life begins and when we decide it begins, then it deserves to be.
Gay marriage.
I'm old-fashioned. I think marriage is between a man and a woman, but I'm also open to the sense that legally I don't think we should discriminate against people, and that if people want to have a contract with another adult, there's no reason why the law should discriminate and prevent them from having benefits or custody or seeing people in the hospital. All that stuff can be arranged through contracts through adult.
Colorado legalization marijuana, good or bad idea?
Yet to be determined, but I think freedom, for the most part, is a good thing. States' rights is a good thing. My position has always been not necessarily, hey, let's legalize everything, but my position has been, let's don't put people in jail for a decade or for 30 years. There's a young woman named Jill Lockwood who did prescription pills. She wrote a false prescription. She should be punished, but 15 years in jail is crazy.
What about guns? Should every American citizen, if they're law-abiding, have the right to carry a weapon?
Yes.
Last question. We talk lately a lot about American exceptionalism. In 30 seconds, what, in your mind, makes America great and exceptional?
We are exceptional because we chose liberty, we chose freedom, and out of that, great prosperity comes because the economic system of freedom is capitalism. We're the richest country ever known to the history of man. We're also the most humanitarian. So if you want to help people, you need to believe in freedom and capitalism.
And you still give free eye operations, I heard.
Yep, I'm going to be going to Haiti this August.
All right. We're all happy. As we wrap this